You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
We are going to start seated, and we're going to have our legs out in front of us. So I would probably advise maybe sitting on something, maybe a block or a cushion, so that you can just keep your hips up a little bit. And you can always keep the legs bent if it's not comfortable here. But what we're trying to think of is our feet and our legs really kind of grounding us to the earth, but still sitting up tall. So we're not slouching and letting the shoulders roll forward, and we're not sitting too far forward either. So really try today to think of stacking all of our joints on top of one another. So the shoulders are stacked on top of the hips. And then you can always bend the knees up like this, and you can rest the hands onto the knees, and then close the eyes if you wish to. Take a few deep breaths. And just find yourself here, sitting on your mat. And whatever has taken place over the last 2 weeks to get you here, now is the time to really bring yourself back into your practice, into that mental focus of being in your flow state, and also tuning in to our bodies. So as month of January is Janatomy, as I'm calling it. So we're going to really start to tap into our own bodies. And when we're familiar and more knowledgeable with our own bodies, we're in a better place to be able to heal ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. So trying to remain still, finding a nice steady and even breath. I'll just take you through a little bit of a meditation to get us started. You have been provided a vehicle in which to take this journey. It is your body. It is equipped with everything you might need. One of your challenges on this journey is to keep your vehicle nourished, happy, and in good repair. It is the only one you will be given. So we begin our journey by exploring our vehicle. Take a moment to feel your body. Feel it breathing in and feel it breathing out. Feel your heart beating inside, the moisture in your mouth and on your lips, the sensation of cloth on your skin, and the weight of your body into the earth with gravity. Explore the space your body occupies, height, width, and find the back, the front, the top, the bottom, and the sides. Begin a dialogue with your body so that you may learn its language, and ask your body how it feels. See if it's tired or tense, and listen to the answer. And how does it feel about going on this journey with you? You have been given a vehicle for this journey, but it is not something you have, it's something you are. You are your body. You are a body living a life in this physical world, getting up in the morning, eating, going to work, touching, sleeping, bathing. Feel your body going through its daily routines. Visualize this now and see the number of interactions it has with the outside world in a day. Think about how your body has grown since you were born, through childhood, through your teen years and into adulthood, and learned and changed over the years. Loud. So loud with the rain. What has it become to you? Do you ever thank it for taking care of you? So let's take a moment now to feel gratitude. Thank our body for all it does for us each and every day. I am my body. Repeat that intention to yourself. Breathing in. Breathing out. I am this body. And nice and gently take the hands underneath the knees. I really hope that you can still hear me. I'm sorry, it's so loud. Oh my gosh. And wrap the body, you can, you're good. Thanks. Wrap the body around your legs. Feel the belly and the chest over the thighs. And let the head and the neck soften and release. Relax the facial expression. Relax the shoulders. And we are going to come straight up to standing. So take your time. Let's take our socks off, because we're going to really get into our feet and our legs. That is crazy rain. Crazy. So let's come into mountain pose. And you can stand at the front. You can stand at the side of your mat, wherever you can see me. And just take the feet parallel, hip width. And when we talk about hip width, we talk about the outer edges. So it's all about the outer edges of our feet. So take a look down at your feet. Take a look down at the toes. Are the toes gripping and pulling back, or are they spread? Lift them up, stretch the toes, and then replace them down. And then turn the heels out just a little bit. So notice what happens into the buttocks when we do that. So maybe the heels were turned in slightly. Turn the heels out. And again, think of the outer edges of your mat, outer edges of your feet in line with your mat. And then feel the weight distribution. So notice if you're leaning forward a little bit, more weight into the toes, or if you're too far back, weight into the heels. Try and find that stacking of the joints, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, knees above ankles. And if you feel that you need to, just soften into the knees. You can let the knees bend. Again, the chest isn't protruding forward and the shoulders aren't too back. So think about the tilt of your pelvis. Is the pelvis tilting backwards, or is the pelvis tilting forwards? Anterior and posterior tilts. Let's find our mountain pose. Once we have really, truly aligned your body. Maybe close the eyes, find the balance. Feel grounded and stable and safe in your standing position. So let's start to move the feet. Let's start to walk forwards and backwards on our mat. So we're going to take a few steps forward. And you can, if you've got enough space in front of you, you can come off of the mat and then go backwards. So really feel each toe coming down, the heel coming down. Wow. Crazy storm. And maybe gives you an opportunity to close your eyes. See if you can take those steps backwards, closing the eyes. Ooh, and forward. Takes focus, concentration, but I really want you to feel the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the legs, and that what we take for granted each and every day, the ability to walk. So slow everything down now, as if you're walking in slow-mo. So you feel the heel, the ball of the foot, the toes come down. Changing weight, balancing on one leg, heel, ball of the foot, toes come down. Changing weight, balancing on one leg, heel, ball, toes. Find a steady breath as you do this. Breathe out into the standing leg. And do the same as you go back. So it'll be toes, ball of the foot, heel. And then once you come to the back of your mat, find your mountain pose once more. So again, feel that hip width distance between the feet. Think again about turning the heels slightly out. Find that weight distribution. Chest is lifting, crown of the head is rising. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. And let's start to rise up onto the toes. So we're going to lift up, shift the balance, and then lower the heels nice and slowly, controlled. Lift up onto the toes. Think about whether the ankles are splaying out to the side when you're up there. We don't want the ankles to go out. Keep them facing forward and slowly lower through the heels. Once more, rise up. You can always use the arms for additional balance. Draw in through the entire core, front, back, and sides. We're going to take a bend into the knees here. We're going to send the knees forward over the middle toe and start to bend. Up onto the tiptoes still if you can. Keep control. Bend, bend, bend. And can we try and release the heels here as much as they can? Some people can place the heels down. Some people can't. That's okay. I can't. It's your Achilles that decides that. And then start to press through the feet. And at some point, the heels are going to come down. You're still in the bend. And then press through the feet back up to standing. Good. Let's do that once more. So rising up. Send the knees forward, slow and controlled, lower down. So the hips are coming down in line with the heels. And then release the heels. And then you can start to press into the feet and stand up. Good. Let's get into the feet, pressing forwards, alternate sides. And you can introduce a little prance here. So kind of light on the feet, rising up like a little horse. You can take the foot off, press the foot forward. So you're really stretching into the toes, the toe arches. Good, get a little bit higher. Knee comes up. Woo, get a bit warmer. Think feet, ankles, knees, legs. Slow it down. And come back to stillness. Find mountain pose once more. Feel the feet. What's going on? Is there tingling? Is there energy through the legs now? And then come into the center of your mat. Make sure that you've got enough room that we can swing our legs. So maybe you hold on to something. Maybe you take the arms out to the side. We're going to swing the leg forward and backwards. It can be bent or straight, but you're tilting the body forward as the leg goes back. So it's a pendulum effect. Foot can be pointed or flexed. And guess where we're going today? Yes, warrior 3. Okay, so try that pendulum effect, nice and controlled. Yeah, it takes a bit of focus, bit of balance. Nice, good. Maybe getting a little higher. And it's not so much a kick. We're not kicking the leg up. We're swinging it. The leg is heavy. It just wants to sway. And then slow everything down. Bring it back into the center. Let's try the other leg. Forwards, backwards. So the supporting leg stands steadfast. You're grounding through that supporting foot. You're drawing up through your supporting leg. You're using the core. Remember, we're going to be coming into warrior 3 later. So this is our prep. Change the gaze each and every time. So we're looking up as the leg comes forward. We're looking down at the front of our mat as the leg goes back. Slow it down. Bring back into center. This time you may need to go sideways on because we're doing across the body. So if you've got a wall by the side of you, I don't want you to hit your foot. So this time the hip goes across and then out to the side. Across into a twist and out to the side. So this is starting to open up the hip. Good. Again, that groundedness of your supporting leg. Doesn't have to be too high. Good. And again, let the leg sway and swing by itself. That's why sometimes it helps to hold on to something. Good, and release. Let's try the other leg, the other hip. That hip should be nice and getting a little bit warmer now. Whoops. Good. So let it swing. We're not kicking the leg. Good, beautiful. Remembering to breathe. Woo! My balance is a bit off today. And release back into the center. Take a moment. Find stillness. Mountain pose. Always return back to Tadasana. And remember that rising feeling through the crown of the head and that rooted feeling through the feet. Everything draws up through the center line of the body. All right, we're still sideways on maybe to our mats. Take our legs wide. Nice goddess squat poses. So here, again, we want to think stacking the joints. So we don't want to be sending the knees inwards. We want the knees to go outwards. So think knee over middle toe. And keeping the knee and the ankle nice in alignment. Good. And just bending slowly, going down as much as comfortable. Maybe making it a little bit wider if you need to. Good. And think energy draws up and energy draws down. Relax the toes, but spread the feet. And we're keeping our shoulders in line with the hips as we bend. We're not tilting the body forward or back. Knees aren't rolling in here. This is a horrible place to be. So we don't have to go too deep. Last time, we go down and stay for 10 counts. 9, 8. Draw in the abdomen for 6, 5. Bend a little deeper for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press through the feet, engage the pelvic floor, and heel toe. The feet back into parallel. Bring the toes together this time. So we're standing in our true Tadasana. I'm getting warm. Whew. And then again, think of those heels just turning out slightly. So we have like a little inch gap. Now, when the feet come together, we have less kind of base. So our focus, our concentration to balance takes a little bit more. Slow everything down. Slow and steady breathing. Let's come into a lunge. So turning to the front of your mat. Right leg goes forward, left leg goes back. Let's take a kneeling lunge first of all. So we can release the back foot if you like, or you might prefer to tuck it. And if you're on a hard surface, you might want a blanket to just pad out that back knee. You can keep the hands down onto the hips if you like. Again, stacking the joints. So shoulders over hips, thinking about the feet, the ankles, the knees, and the legs. Bending forward, dropping hips towards the heel. Think stack the joint here. So if that foot is too far back, you're going to get too much deep compression into the kneecap. Maybe if you're here and you feel comfortable, you can lift the arms. Reach the fingers up, keep the gaze looking forward, draw up through the abdomen, really find your low lunge here. Oh, it's slowing down the rain, that's peaceful. Oh, ferocious. All right, let's reach the hands down, tuck the back toe, and then lengthen the back leg. So push through the back heel. You want to feel the long line from your crown of your head right down through your spine, through your hips, back down through the back leg into the heel. From here, we're going to lift the arms, lift the body. We're going to keep the legs where they are. Raise up the body. Find a lunge. Strong. Good. Bend a little deeper. Drop the hips a bit more. Nice. Good. And then release the hands down. If you've got a block handy, we are going to come into our warrior three. So just either one or two blocks, whatever you've got. So we're in that low lunge. We're going to step up into warrior three. So we're going to lift back leg, transition the weight, and find your warrior three. Now think about the supporting leg, the length of the spine, reaching the crown of the head away. Back leg not too high. It can stay low, but turn the toes downwards. Remember, warrior three is a closed hip posture. Maybe bending into the front leg and then taking the hands away from the blocks if you wish to find the balance. More challenging as the arms come out in front of you or out to the side, aeroplane style, fingers reaching away, palms face down, or back towards your hips and reaching the fingers away. Turn the toes down. Flex through the back foot. And then bring it up. Knee comes into the chest. Nice long line again through crown of the head, down to the heel, and release back into Tadasana, either hip width or toes together. Okay? Good work. Takes a bit of strength, doesn't it, to do a warrior three after 2 weeks off. I've been working on warrior threes for the last week in Spain. All right, we're going to come into tree pose. So we just had the left leg back. This time we're going to use the right leg for our tree and stabilize through the left. Give our right leg a break. So you can find your tree pose either down at the ankle or the calf, not pressing against the knee, or you can bring it up to the thigh, pressing the sole of the foot against the thigh, and the thigh presses back. I'm going to change sides so that I'm mirroring you. Again, you always have the option to hold on to something. Now keep long through the body and find that weight distribution, that centering. Hands might come to the heart, or they might come out to the sides or up to the sky. Relax the shoulders, relax the facial expression, give yourself a smile. Remember, our body is our vehicle for this journey. Respecting, honoring, and grateful for our bodies. Maintaining, nourishing, and repairing. Can you close your eyes? Test your balance. Just for a second. Bit wobbly. And then release the hands, release the foot, always coming back into mountain, either hip width or toes together. So left leg in front. Let's repeat. Low lunge, high lunge, warrior 3, tree. So hands might stay onto the hips, toe might be tucked at the back, padding out the back knee. We start to sink the hips forward as we push the knee towards the middle toe. Try not to let that knee roll in or roll out. If you wish, you can lift the arms, dropping the hips a bit more, keeping the body nice and straight, gaze is straight forward. We're not introducing back bends here. This is all about the lower body. Strength through the legs. Good. Hands come down and then tuck the back toe. Lift the knee, straighten through the back leg, but try not to pop through the back knee if you're hypermobile. Press through the back heel. Long line from crown of the head to heel. And then from here, legs stay exactly where they are. We're going to use the core. We're going to lift the arms. We're going to come straight up into that high lunge. Good. Find the strength to stay, hold, and breathe. Lower a little bit more if you wish to drop the hips. Keeping core engaged, lifting up, protecting the spine. Good. And then we're going to step forward nice and slowly with control. So finding your blocks. And then you can start to come into that warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, lifting the back leg. Let's come back a bit. So again, that left leg, the center leg is stabilizing you. Back leg not too high. You can come up onto the fingertips and then you can find your balance in warrior 3. Holding, breathing, smiling, honoring your body. That glute may be screaming at you. Breathe into it. One more breath. And then press through the supporting leg. Bring the knee up towards the chest with control. Stay nice and tall. Find the balance. And release the leg down. Let's change for tree pose. So right leg is your supporting leg. Left leg opens. Either ankle, calf, or to thigh. Stacking joints. Shoulders aren't back here. They are forward. Chest isn't flaring. Chest is drawn in. Rib cage is nice and controlled. Fingertips may reach to the sky. Feel grounded through the supporting foot, ankle, leg. Draw up through the lower part of the thigh. Press the foot into the thigh and the thigh back towards the foot. Close the eyes if you wish to test yourself on this second side. That ankle might just give you a little wobble. And then release down to Tadasana. Take a few breaths. We're going to come into Malasana squat now. Take the feet just as wide as your mat. And again, you can use the block to rest on here. Gosh, I am hot. Sweaty. Oh, that's why my heater's all the way up. So drawing hands in towards the heart center, we're going to send the hips straight down through the center line of the body. You might have to tilt a little bit forward because of the opening of your hips. And again, if your heels don't meet the mat, that's okay. That's your body. It's no one else's. And then lengthen the spine. Let's start to engage Mula Bandha here. Draw the pelvic floor upwards. Find a steady breath. Think about the outer edges of your feet. So you're rolling the ankles backwards. So they're not rolling inwards and the knees are coming in. Press everything back towards the back of your mat. And then reach the hands down and just reach forward to the front of your mat. Tiptoe the fingers forward. So you're going to drop the hips and reach forward. Let the head release. Feel the stretch through the spine. And then place the hands, start to lift the hips, straightening through the legs. At some point, the toes are going to start to turn inwards as wide as your mat. So the outer edges of your feet are in line with the edges of your mat. And your hands, oh, look at that. I just realized my mat is round the wrong way as well. So we're in a wide foot down dog. Maybe bend the knees if you need to, but remember those knees aren't knocking inwards. Keep them nice and strong. Inner thighs engaged. Press the chest back towards the thighs. Let the head rest between the biceps. Relax the toes. Find a steady breath in this down dog variation. And then walk the hands back towards the feet. Heel toe the feet back into parallel. Again, turn the heels out, bend the knees, chest and belly come down over the thighs, taking hold of the elbows, relax the head into that ragdoll. And you can stay here, you can sway a little, and you may wish to start to straighten the back of the legs, lifting up the sit bones into your fold and release the hands down to the mat. Think of feet, ankles, legs. And then hands come down where the feet are, and then step back left and right foot, come into your bent legged downward facing dog this time, releasing one heel at a time. And then when you're ready, come into your downward dog. And again, some people release their heels to the mat, some don't. It's your body, whatever it feels. It sends you messages. Honor them, listen. Press through the mat, through the palms, so the shoulders are away from the ears. You're lengthening through the spine, lifting up the sit bones. And we're going to step the right leg through between the hands and come into warrior one. Plant the back foot. 45-degree angle if that's accessible to you. The heels may be in alignment, or the heel may be in alignment with the arch. Everybody's different in Warrior One. We start to square the left hip off to the front of the mat, sweep the arms up, and bend the front knee. Back leg is straight in Warrior One. Again, no back bends here. We're just focusing on the legs. So again, roll through the outer edge of your foot. Roll the back ankle backwards towards the back of the mat. Ground the entire foot. Release the toes. Looking forward, bend a little deeper. Drop the hips a little bit more. Try to keep the abdomen nice and drawn in. Good. And then we're going to open up to Warrior Two. So maybe the foot position changes and you can widen it. So the front foot stays facing forward. Back foot stays where it is. Hips turn to the side. Arms raise. Drop the shoulders. Find Warrior Two. Bend a little deeper. Send the front knee forward. Again, maybe drawing in through your pelvic floor. And think about the hips and the pelvis, because when we did those leg swings, the open hip variation and the forward variations for Warrior Three. From here, we are going to take a balance of half moon, because it was a beautiful full moon if you saw it yesterday. Hopefully it's still there tonight. But we're going to step forward, find a block, and then lifting up that back leg. Keep the hand on the hip for the moment. And then notice if the hip is turning in or if the hip is turning out. Front foot is facing forward. Stabilize through that front right leg. Then maybe the top arm lifts and you can come up onto the tips of the fingers, or release the hand for your balance into half moon. Find the strength there. If half moon's not accessible today, you can just stay here with the leg nice and low. Now, test yourself here, either flexing the foot, pressing away through the sole, or pointing the toes, whatever feels good. Nice and slowly release that leg with control. Step it back through. Warrior Two. Windmill the hands. We're going to turn on the back toes. Really feel the toes turning. Hands come down, step it back to down dog. If you wish to, you can throw a little connecting vinyasa in there. We haven't done any back bends, so go easy, maybe a cobra. Or you can come to down dog and let's take a child's pose. Let's meet there. So everything through January will be anatomy, body focused. We're really going to draw into what our body does for us in our practice and how we adapt it into daily life. We start with the lower body and work our way up and then put it all together at the end of the month. It's also about strengthening, finding strength through holding postures. And then let's bring ourselves back up into downward facing dog once more. Tucking toes, pressing back through heels. And then stepping forward with your left leg this time. Preparing to come into Warrior One, and however short or long your Warrior One is, plant the back foot. Again, take a look where that heel is in alignment to the front heel. As I say, more challenging is the arch in the heel, or you can widen them. You can even take the feet even wider of your mat. Okay? Then lift the arms. No back bends here. So dropping hips, bending through the front knee, really draw in through the abdomen. We're not collapsing into the lower back. Okay? Remember, back foot. Roll the ankle away from you. Hold and breathe. And then we're going to open it up, warrior two. So change the foot position if you need to, wiggling the back foot. Settling the shoulders as quickly as possible. Gaze goes over that middle finger and then dropping the hips nice and low. Remembering stacking joints, knee above ankle. And the body goes straight down through both feet. Good. Roll the foot away from you, the back foot. One more breath, preparing our focus for our balance of half moon. So gently stepping forward, weight goes into that front left leg, hand comes down to the block, hand onto the hip, lift the back leg up. Again, turning the toes inwards or up to the sky. It's probably better inwards. Finding the balance before lifting the top arm or releasing the underneath arm. Changing the gaze to challenge. Find the balance. Breathe and smile. Beautiful. Lifting the leg if you can a bit more and then releasing with control back into warrior two. Breathe out as you sink and then windmill the hands over. We turn on the back foot. We come down into that real nice long line. Hands come down. Take it back into your downward facing dog and choose a connecting vinyasa if you want to add one in there. Or take a couple of breaths in down dog and then let's come to a wide leg child's pose. So, always options. So, we're just going to put those 6 postures together. Okay, so a couple of breaths in each one. So we start with our lunge into warrior 3, then into tree, then into lunge, warrior 3, tree, warrior 1, warrior 2, half moon. Back into down dog, nice deep exhale. Looking forward, stepping right leg between the hands. Find your high lunge straight away. 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Stepping forward, straight into warrior 3. 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to draw the knee in. This time, that left leg is your tree, your right leg is your stabilizer. 3 breaths. We're going to step that left leg back into warrior 1. So back foot goes back. Plant the foot. Arms raised. Nice and controlled. 3 breaths. Doing great. Opening up. Warrior 2. 3 breaths. Half moon, 3 breaths. With control, step back to warrior 2. Windmill the arms. Step back, down dog. Connecting vinyasa if you wish here. Or stay in your down dog or take a child's pose. Back to down dog, 3 breaths. Looking forward, left leg steps between the hands. High lunge, 3 breaths. Stepping forward, warrior 3. 3 breaths. Bring the knee in with control. Hug the knee to the chest. Find the placement for tree. 3 breaths. Release the back leg to warrior 1. 3 breaths. And warrior 2. 3 breaths. Preparing for the balance. Last time, last balance. Half moon. 3 breaths. Release the foot to warrior 2 with control. Windmill the hands over. Long lunge, step it back, down dog. Find a connecting vinyasa if you wish. Or come to your child's pose. Take a few breaths here just to allow the body to rest, respond. And then hands come out. Come to tabletop. Knees hip width, wrists underneath the shoulders, just gentle mobility through the spine to release the spine after that work. The spine, of course, is involved. Even though we're working just on the feet and the legs, spine is holding the entire body up through standing balances, warrior 2s, warrior 3s. And then tuck the toes, press yourself back, walk the hands back towards the feet. Full forward fold here. Feel the back of the legs, relax the toes, don't let the toes grip. And start to roll up through the spine. You can take a bend into the knees and return to mountain pose. Compose your breath, your heart rate, your physical presence on the mat. And we just have a couple more standing postures. So we're going to go sideways on, wide-legged, forward bend, toes turn in, heels turn out, and take the hands up onto the hips. We're going to flat back forward. So chest leads, fold the body down. You can take a soft bend into the knees if you need. Hands come down. You might wish to turn the toes out just a little bit more. The heels out a little bit more, widening that space between the legs, and then maybe the hands come down onto a block. Try to keep the spine long. So try not to let the spine round too much here. If you need to, reach the hands forward. And then it's almost like a really wide leg down dog. You're pressing the chest down towards the mat, and think where the hips are in line to the heels. You might be able to see gallery on your Zoom, so just take a look and see where you are in space, or you can feel it. Breathe slowly, deeply. And then bring the body up, hands back up onto the hips, press through the feet. Use the core, bring the spine up. We're going to heel toe the feet into parallel, back into mountain pose, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Either toes come together or hip width, mountain pose. So standing at the front of your mat this time, we're going to come down to reclined. So maybe making yourself just a little bit warmer. I'm going to pop a top on now. So again, I'm hoping that your ankles feel a little bit warmer, your feet, your legs. So Tadasana at the front. We're going to take a nice deep bend into the knees. The knees go forward. It's like your chair pose. Keep bending, keep bending, keep bending, keep bending. Maybe you bend so much that your buttocks can come to the mat. Mine do not. So in which case the heels need to lift. And then you can release back. Send the legs out in front of you. And let's come to seated before we come to recline. So let's just look at our feet, our amazing feet. Press through the feet, stretch the top of the arches, draw the toes back. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Yeah, dorsiflantar. Circle. Draw a big circle with the toes, outwards and inwards. And then just give the legs a shake. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet down, and take a nice slow roll down. So the pelvis tilts underneath you. You draw the belly back and take a slow, controlled roll down. Keep the feet planted. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. Roll and massage out. Feel the spine long from neck to tailbone. And then let's take the knees wide. Just have a little bit of weight in the hands here. We don't have to press, but we're just holding the knees down a little bit. Feet are just relaxed, hanging in the balance. Feel the inner thighs. Feel the spine is long and connected. Keep the thighs where they are as you lift the feet up towards happy baby. So knees stay down by the rib cage as much as you can. Keep the thighs nice and wide of the waist. Press the soles of the feet up to the sky. And if you wish to, you can roll from side to side. Just massaging through the back. Coming back into stillness. Relax the shoulders. Soften through the face and neck. Soles of the feet press towards the sky. You've got a 90-degree bend into the ankles, 90-degree bend into the back of the knees, and breathe into your hips here. Bring the soles of the feet together. And then you can release the soles of the feet down, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Let the knees just open. Notice what happens into the lower back. Maybe the lower back naturally arches as the knees open. Maybe you wish to draw the spine down. Just find what's comfortable, because again, that's the tilt of the pelvis that controls that, and also it works through those hip flexors. So whatever feels good there. And then lifting the thighs, lifting the knees together, place the soles of the feet down. Relax the toes, realign the spine and pelvis. Feel the whole back body, shoulders spread, connecting. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Lengthen the left leg along the mat. Engage that leg, press through the sole of the foot. And this time we're going to do a reclined warrior 3. So we're going to draw the toes back towards us of our right leg, and we're going to push through the heel as if we're extending that leg up to the sky, straightening through the back of the knee if it's comfortable, and you're pressing through the sole of the foot, and the heel is in line with your hip. It's not coming too far forward and it's not too far away. If it's too far away, bend the knee. Arms out to the side if that feels good, or above the head, palms face up. Try not to flare the rib cage. Draw the shoulder blades down. Press through both heels. Engage the back of those legs. Draw the thighs up towards the hips. And then with control, draw the abdomen towards the lower back towards the mat. Lower that right leg slowly. Super controlled. Relax in Shavasana, a couple of breaths, let everything release. Breathe out. Draw both knees in. Keep the left knee in towards the chest, extend the right leg. Press the heel away so that leg is engaged. Draw the back of the knee down, and then draw the toes of your left foot towards you, towards the shin. And this time we're going to extend the left leg up towards the sky at the same time as reaching the arms back or to the sides. So everything goes together. Soften the rib cage, draw the rib cage downwards. So the spine is still long and controlled. We're engaging both legs. Warrior 3 reclined. Draw those toes back towards the shins. Press through the soles of the feet with control. Lower the leg. Keep drawing the abdomen down towards the back so you've got complete control of the spine. And bring the arms back. Relax as you breathe out in Shavasana. Well done. Draw both knees in. Roll and massage out a little bit through the spine. Let's take a twist because we did a standing twist when we were swinging those legs. Arms come out to the side. You might just take the right leg over the left. You might extend that left leg underneath you. So it's your standing supporting leg. And this would be your swing, as it were. So that hip comes over the top of the body. You might use the left hand. There's a bit of weight on the right leg. And just find a nice place here for a few breaths. Well, I think I'll be staying indoors today and cleaning, not going anywhere. Relax the outer hip and the glute of that right leg. And then bring back into center. Realign. And then change sides. Few more breaths. Breathe out to let go of any remaining tightness. Let go of any tension. Relax all of the muscles now. And slowly bring yourself back into center. Place the soles of the feet down. Wider edges of the mat. Toes turn in, heels turn out. Knees rock together. Arms just come up to cactus. Just so that you can relax the chest, the shoulders, the hips, the legs, the feet. And we're going to prepare to come into our final relaxation in Shavasana. Make yourself warm. Put socks, jumpers, blankets, bolsters underneath the knees, eye pillows, whatever you've got. And as you now come to your mat, after our lower body, our feet, ankles, knees, and legs practice, just take a moment to scan the body. Take a moment to feel how you feel. Notice the sensations of the body. It might have been a little shock after 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year. You may have been practicing every day. So, remembering that reading at the beginning, that we have been provided a vehicle for our journey in this world. This planet is a vehicle too. It takes us through time and through space. Feel the earth as a central, unified entity, a living body just like you, with an infinity of cells working together as a whole. You are a cell in this great body, part of Mother Earth, one of her children. We begin our journey here on this great body of earth. And as you feel the earth beneath you, your body is completely connected and alive with grounding energy. I'll leave you for a few moments of silence here and let you know when it's time to come back around. start by bringing a few deeper breaths into your lungs, into your body, in soft and gentle movement. And then take your time to move. There's never any rush. And maybe stretching, maybe drawing the knees in, whatever feels good as we roll over to one side and we return to the place where we started our practice with the legs out in front of us, either with the knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, but sit nice and tall. Bring the hands in towards the heart space. Now just take note of how the feet, the ankles, the legs, and the hips now feel. And recalling that affirmation, I am this body. And I'm learning to explore and discover even more and new things each and every day about yourself. A journey of discovery. And always giving thanks and gratitude to our vehicles that are with us each and every day. And I thank you. Namaste.